So I just discovered this morning that uh, Michael Flynn, the firm he ran back in the day when he could still run firms, Flynn Intel Group, he worked very closely with an associate of Michael Flynn, his firm, uh, White White Canvas Group, which, as I've noted, uh, is a really creepy name. Uh, they worked together prior to the 2016 election, when Flynn's firm and White Canvas Group were hired by the Trump campaign to do unspecified media electioneering operations, presumably in tandem with some other firms they hired, like Cambridge Analytica and SCL, which is their parent company, Archimedes, and less directly Palantir. As was discovered last year when former Cambridge executive whistleblower Christopher Wiley told British Parliament about all this. They were the ones who scraped Facebook in service to this kind of broad procedure that exists now, where they take in huge amounts of information on individuals and populations. Palantir or some other firm kind of processes it, or Archimedes does, or whatever, and they put out based on that data, very highly refined and targeted misinformation content, which is what Facebook is for these days. Here is the email in which we got a couple emails here. One of them has yeah. Let's start with this one. Here we have Hacking Team. Vince at Hacking Team. Hacking Team came to our attention back in 2011, 2012, and there was a entry written about it on our site, Project PM. Our echelon.2 was the website. Incidentally, all these things, HP Gary, Project PM, echelon2.org, were the main things listed on my search warrant in March 2012 in the FBI first raided me. You can get a look at that search warrant at BuzzFeed, the article that Michael Hastings wrote about this at the time. He published the search warrant as well. The Hacking Team, as was known back then, as was confirmed in 2015 when someone hacked Hacking Team and revealed all their emails, is a firm that specializes in providing surveillance and detection tools to authoritarian regimes around the world, so that they can detect and capture and torture dissidents. That's what Hacking Team does. And here we see a Irish police executive, like a high-end, I guess a high-level Irish police officer, it's Ann Garda Síochána, how the fuck you pronounce that Gaelic bullshit, suggesting that someone contact SUPT Michael Flynn. I don't know what SUP stands for, but it sounds kind of cool. At Michael Flynn's Garda fucking email address, Irish police email address. Not sure what they're going into here, other than it involves Iran versus Saudi cyber escalation, which they may or may not be making up, and who knows? I haven't checked the context yet. But that actually is somewhat lesser than this one, which I just mentioned. This is, oops, oh no, sorry, I gotta pull up the other email. White, I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm not stoned, and that I'm not kind of having a hard time keeping this organized this morning. White Canvas Group. That was a firm that was run by Michael Flynn's associate. Forgot his name. I'm sure it's around here somewhere. Here we have White Canvas Group listed along with HP Gary and TASC in this email thread involving those firms. Here's Aaron Barr, the piece of shit. Tim Risen, I ran into him, or I encountered his operations in 2011. This Romos coin research I did, wrote up for the Guardian. Here's John at White Canvas Group. I guess he's their contact there. I'm not familiar with him. His last name doesn't seem to be listed. And here they are, just sort of sorting. Here are the firms we have together that we've either brought on already or would like to try to get to work with. Here they are talking about the NDA they're doing with Apple. Later on, they had meetings with Apple and Google over this Romos coin program, which, as I said, was noted again, is similar to what was later done in the U.S. election and apparently the Brexit vote to gaslight everyone. Content creation, TISC, good for you guys. You also see White Canvas Group involved with HB Gary again in the delivery component of this comprehensive and baroque surveillance and disinformation platform that the U.S. government runs, and which at the time was being overseen for them by Northrop Grumman, which is where Aaron Barr originally worked on the program. It was replaced at the end of 2010. That's noted in these emails as well that I mentioned in the article I did way back then. Just Google Romos coin, as I've written it here in the description. And Barrett Brown, you'll find my Guardian piece, and look it up along with Project PM, and you should be able to find the wiki we have, which is no longer echelon.2.org, and the actual address of which I always forget because it's not as intuitive as that one. Yeah. So I'm hoping that since I'm already swamped and since I have very decreasing ability to bring attention to anything, just like I had a little ability to do that back in 2010, 2011. If you are a journalist, or if you were, whether independent or whatever, and if you have a relationship with a journalist that is competent and understands the background here and understands why this is important, please send it along to them and tell them I'd be happy to help them with any of this. I'm very familiar with these firms, having spent like a month or so back in 2011 going over a bunch of these emails. There was about a year's worth of emails between TISC, HB Gary, Archimedes, Apple, Google. To a lesser extent, I just had meetings with them about their national security divisions playing a part in this exciting surveillance opportunity against the Arab world in that case. So, other thing you can do if you're feeling really, really dutiful, if you feel like doing something to help, go to Wikileaks.org, search Michael Flynn, search his son's name. You'll find some things. I know I've seen there's about 10 pages of results. A lot of those tend to be articles that are being forwarded around, or intel briefings that Stratfor sends to their paying clients, and which sometimes fills up with articles that they are using without permission, including mine, as we found out today. It's just funny because I owe Stratfor $800,000 for Is this guy fucking serious? Wait. Someone just asked me, sorry, I totally forgot the camera shot. Someone just asked me, Gavin Sheridan, are you sure it's not just an Irish policeman with the same name? Referring to the guy suggesting someone go to Michael G. Flynn. That is Michael Flynn's middle initial. Michael Flynn pops up elsewhere in this community, and his firms do. And it's possible it's an Irish policeman, in which case we're back to the other story that is more relevant to the Trump election and all that. But it's possible somebody's getting paid to do this stuff and isn't a second-class citizen like I am. Should look into that for some major respected outlet. Let me see if I can figure out this or not. Let's look together. I gotta do that other one. Oh, wow, it's fucked up. So, like I said, sorry, I'm kind of slow on the uptake today. Let's look up the email address and see if it pops up again. Let's see if we can figure out if it is Flynn or not. What's the exact email address? And it's in my tweet. I should pull it up from there. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Michael G. Flynn, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm sure that is. The Irish only have a few names, so maybe it will be an Irish policeman. Could be wrong about that one. Which is fine because there's plenty to look into regarding the other thing, the Romas Coin HB Gary thing. That definitely is the firm in question. And God knows that's going to be it's going to be hard to get people to actually go in the press. Yeah, I don't think they were asking Irish policemen about yeah, this is Michael Flynn. No one's asking an Irish policeman happens to be named Michael G. Flynn about Iran and AIE. Wow, AIE is another of these firms. Anyway, a company called Hacking Team wouldn't be asking Michael Flynn or Irish cop about Iran cyber war, because an Irish cop would not be competent to do that, whereas Michael Flynn will have pretended to be competent and kind of. Is this like a bunch of? Well, okay, never mind. Sorry, I was looking at a bunch of Gaelic boilerplate email footer stuff, and it's really disarming. Alarming to see Gaelic. And I guess it's not very well. Doesn't render very well in email, so it's a shame for the Irish. Maybe they should learn, start talking. It's like an actual language that people give a shit about, or whatever. I mean, I'm not saying that they have to. Here, pull this fucking thing out. Anyway, let me show you. Go through this again real quick, in case someone's joined us and needs to understand what we're talking about. This is the email from 2010. It's one of many, many emails you'll find in the old Stratfor, in the HB Gary set, which was leaked by Anonymous after having been hacked from HB Gary, after HB Gary's CEO started some shit that he couldn't finish. We had the FBI finish it for him later on, which is why I did 4 years in prison. But here's a White Canvas Group. If you Google White Canvas Group, you'll find that it is a firm associated with Michael Flynn through his buddy. Michael Flynn's own group, Flynn Intel Group, worked with them on something for the Trump campaign, 2016. It was never clear exactly what, or at least it wasn't clear in 2017 when this first came out. I don't know to what extent that was to be fleshed out, but I do imagine that the Mueller people and the counterintelligence people should know it full well, I suppose. And we know a lot about these firms that he's dealing with here. We know a lot about this project, Romas Coin, and we know it's very similar to what was done in 2016 on Trump's behalf with the Facebook targeting, the data mining that scraped Facebook of. Let me answer this guy. If I was going to ask an Irish policeman anything, it wouldn't be about Iran, but it might What would I ask an Irish policeman? It couldn't be about Ireland. I would ask him, what the fuck is wrong with you? Any Irishman becoming a policeman, a member of authority, is a betrayal of our. I'm only about half Irish, but I occasionally identify as an Irishman. It's a betrayal of our noble barbarian heritage, you know. And most of them just got off the boat. 20 minutes later, they were cops already. It's really kind of discouraging. Let's see what else. As long as I have some attention on this research, which these emails have been available since 2012. Jeremy Hammond's still in prison over them. I still owe $800,000 to Stratfor over these emails. Stratfor. If you want to see more about what happened, WikiLeaks back then retweeted this little statement I wrote called On Stratfor. If you Google, if you go on Twitter and search WikiLeaks' little handle, plus Stratfor or On Stratfor, I guess you'll find it. You'll find a link to it. You find them retweeting, you'll find a link to it. As I explained back then, it was pretty clear. I didn't suspect, as I noted then and elsewhere, I didn't suspect that Stratfor was doing anything wrong, actually. All I knew about the firm for years and years was that it's based in Austin, that it does assessments, that it's oftentimes quoted in the press on some things, and that, it's some of the stuff that they have put out publicly that's used in articles you'll see from, mid-90s to the present. Is some of it's correct, some of their analysis is correct, some of it's nonsense. And if you go look at the emails there and see them assessing things, debating, issues both broad and specific, you'll find that there's some uneven talent there. George Friedman is head honcho is kind of an idiot. He's a jackass in some ways, like without an excuse, without really having an excuse to be a jackass. And I've seen just in the last couple of days of going through these, he is not a deep thinker. He's really not somebody who is all that great at just assessing, putting together inductive logic and that kind of thing. I'm probably going to start doing a little series of video analysis of Stratfor's internal communications and some of the more interesting discussions, because, like I said, I pay for these fucking emails, so I might as well just get a great deal out of them. And again, people went to prison over this. HB Gary, I suppose some of you may know, was a firm that got caught doing things of such extraordinary just indefensiveness. That's a word. We're so indefensible, along with Palantir and in-game systems. This was all set in motion by the DOJ. About 20 congressmen asked for an investigation after this was uncovered. Republican Lamar Smith, who's a committee chair for the Judiciary Committee or something, said, no, it's the DOJ's job to decide if a crime has been committed here and needs to be investigated. And of course, since the DOJ had set this in motion to begin with and is noted as such in these emails, yeah, I don't think that's this guy's debating me on the question of whether that Michael Flynn thing is what it looks like. Michael, let me look at that again. See if he's correct. I could be wrong. So here's a couple. It says HB Gary. That's a single meeting. Wait. Hold on. So Flynn. Okay, now. The email address searched. Yes, Michael Flynn. Yeah. Search. Iran versus Saudi. What is his email here? Oops. fucking thing. God damn, I can't see it.